Hi guys, it's Nate from Texas. How you doing?
Hey, Nate, how you doing, man? What's going on?
Good, good. I just wanted to weigh in on this Bill Maher nonsense. I mean, I think what he's saying basically is, you know, look, we can't tolerate these moderate Muslims because they're intolerant. They're going to drag us down to their level, so we just can't tolerate them.
Right.
We're too tolerant for that. And, you know, I think this really highlights the fact that these words, like moderate Muslim, it's such an insult to say moderate Muslim. What you're really doing, you know, is you're just saying that, sure, they're Muslim, but they're not that bad, but they're still kind of bad.
I mean, I think you're right in
you know,
that's how he's using it. I mean, look, I think that there's a lot of variables here. And I think there's no problem with saying, and I think in the United States, it's very different. The United States, there really is not, you know, as an example, a lot of the Muslim community in the United States is very affluent, it's very educated. It's a much, so in Europe, there's definitely some situations where there's a very sharp divide between the Muslim community and the rest of, you know, the French community or whatever. And obviously a lot of that has to do with bigotry and xenophobia towards Muslims and towards immigrants. And then there's also there is the sort of interplay of like, look, if you're going to come and live in a liberal and more open system, then as an example, of course, you have to send, you know, your daughter to college, to school. You can't say like, you know, my religion sort of opts me out of some of the shared value systems of this place. So some of these dynamics are delicate and they're being figured out. But the problem that I have is I agree with you, the way he's using moderate Muslim is a problem, but it also just shows that, I mean, first and foremost, this is a humanitarian catastrophe. And when you start having such a simplistic and delusional view of a region and its people, then you can start painting in a broad brush, and it has an implication like we don't have to deal with a major humanitarian catastrophe because of these other, you know, notions. And even maybe some legitimate problems and challenges that arise in Europe and have to be dealt with. But also, I mean, look, the other thing is like Europe needs immigrants. You're talking about negative growth rates in terms of population in places like Germany. So they actually need people coming from somewhere. So this is all stuff that's going to need to be figured out regardless. Yeah. But I appreciate the call. We got to make the switch. But it's always awesome to hear from you, Nate. And
Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much.
Good day.
Be well, man.